Hey, thanks for staying up late with us on News West 9. I'm Tatum Gwynn. Happy Wednesday to you. Tonight, we have part 3 of our News West 9 exclusive Hiding in Plain Sight. Migrants are finding their way across the border, and some of them end up in what we now know as a stash house. They're held for demands set by the cartel and then released after those demands are met. Sammy Steele finds out what's being done to stop these human smugglers.
The Rio Grande isn't the only place Customs and Border Protection agents rescue migrants.
This is what agents do. Only a few steps away is Mexico, and they spend the day in ATVs just like this, rescuing migrants.
But some migrants choose to put their trust in coyotes and end up in a stash house held until demands are met. The Big Bend sector of Customs and Border Protection has busted 12 houses, some of those in Midland and Odessa.
We also have more homes that are being invaded with human trafficking, with stash houses, with drug cartels moving in. So our crime rate has increased because of what is happening along the border. And what's really scary is that you can live right next door to somebody, or somebody across the street. You could be involved in illegal activities and you not really even know it.
In June, more than 188,000 migrants were apprehended at the border, the most migrants to cross the border in a single month so far this year.
There are people who are trying to immigrate to this country for safety and for security and for a lifestyle. There's another group that's being taken advantage of by the cartels that is being abused through this process and also being sex trafficked through this process. So let's be careful that we don't throw every immigrant under the bus on this thing and realize that many of them are in situations they can't get out of and they're trying to get out of. What we're dealing with is a highly sophisticated drug cartel network.
As to why the migrants in these stash houses were being held against their own will, don't try to escape or report what's happening, well, it comes down to fear.
These people are reluctant to come forward because they want to come over here and make a new life for themselves. They're being taken advantage of, being trafficked by these individuals. And it really takes a lot of resources to target that kind of crime. And you need to have individuals, officers designated for that crime itself to dig into it and make a good case. And it's very difficult to do that.
Stopping the cartel's network is up to Homeland Security Investigations Specialized Units. We asked Customs and Border Protection agents for the exact resources they use to stop these stash houses. In fear that they might compromise current investigations, they did not share details. But they did tell us this.
For most of our stash houses, without getting into the very specifics, a lot of our information comes from tips from the public, and we always appreciate that.
According to agents, if there's suspicious activity that you believe might be related to stash houses, it should be reported to local law enforcement, either the police or sheriff's office.
See something, say something. That's so important. If the signs are sometimes very, you just have to pay a little bit of attention, and they're there. You know, the windows are covered, very little traffic, or sometimes a lot of traffic, a lot of vehicles parked in these homes. The conditions of the outside of the home are not kept up well. You know that that house doesn't have a regular owner. People know this about their neighborhood. They're the best ones to know that there's something going on in that house.
Well, oftentimes the people are moved through the use of vans, cargo vans, and other types of vehicles that can carry more than the standard family size. So the organizations move these types of people using those vehicles for efficiency. So if they suddenly start to see a bunch of vans in their neighborhood and they haven't seen vans before like that, that's a good indicator.
Contacting local law enforcement is the first step. From there, federal agencies take over the investigation.
If somebody reports that there's somebody at a stash house, HSI will have the authority to go in there to do a welfare check. And so you conduct a welfare check, and you have enough, at that point, probable cause to go into this house and check it out. They will go in and find out what's going on inside the house. And if, in fact, it is a stash house, then they'll take care of it.
According to Customs and Border Protection, most of the migrants at these stash houses are thankful because being in U.S. Border Protection custody is safer than being held against your own will.
In many cases, a lot of the people are relieved that they have been removed from those types of situations, because many of them did not ever anticipate being in a stash house or sign up for anything like that. That was the cartel, and they're at the mercy of the cartel.